Okay, so today we're going to part 2 of our vintage junk journal. We painted, we did collage paper, we did stenciling, we have some washi tape. I have a video of this thus far. Ooh, I really love that page. This is a cool, it's a spiritual page. It's a holy page, but there's mica in there. So what we're going to do today is we're going to Tim Holtzify this, and we're going to start to figure out what kinds of things we want in here. Okay. So I am going to, I don't know that this, it's very sparkly for this project. Let's go through some of this stuff and see what is in these. I love these things, but they're very thick. So these guys are super thick. I have a whole little container of them over there, and I do love them. But let's get an idea. And I think we could use some of them on, I like an uninvited guest. I like a strange thing happened. I like collectors of, I have that for my, out in the other room. So we may have to use that. That may be what is this year's theme. I love these doors. Oh my goodness. I'm going to use that in the, these. And they are super thick chipboard. Okay, we're going to start putting stuff in here. Take this out and start putting stuff in here because I'm a little bit of a digger like Tim is. And I like to dig through things. I kind of like this. So I need that. Okay, so I'm going to go with a collector of curiosities as our theme for this year. That was the baseboards plinths. All right, next we have, and don't worry, I'm not going to mix up all my paper dolls. I have a billion paper dolls already. Love them. They are the coolest thing to use, but we need to pick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a bunch of pages. So I'm going to pick, let's say, oh, what else is in here? There's treasure in the back here. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's the cutout from one of the paper dolls. Okay, so, ooh, that's cute. That's Kids with Pumpkins. Oh, Spooky House for sure. Collector of Curiosities. We need the Spooky House. I don't know about those. Oh, little kids in costumes. That's cute. Oh, okay. So here we go. These people, yes, for sure. Love them. Oh, some of these are paper dolls. Okay, so those guys we're going to put in our yes pile. And then I don't really want kids. I'm not a big, I mean, I can do kids. We'll do kids at some point, but I'm not a big kid type person. I do love this girl, this witchy girl. Ooh, those kids look scary. I kind of like those ones, but okay, here is a bride. Here is a creepy man. I kind of like the creepy man. And what you want to do, that girl has a bunny. Oh, those guys look like from The Shining. What you kind of want to do, oh, I love her, is just go through for this current project and figure out what you think would be a good match, right? Oh, I've used her before. I love her. That lady looks too happy. Okay, Gypsy Woman, love her. Oh, these guys are cool too. Oh, maybe there's a whole bunch of twins. Okay, okay. Okay. Oh, those look like... Oh, there's another set of twins. I like him. I've used him before. Oh, Gypsy Girls. Those are cute. All right. I love that man. He looks a little scary. Ooh, could they be holding hands? Ooh, those guys could be holding hands. Creepy peep. Ooh, look at him. Ooh, I might want to say, oh, I don't know. I love him. We'll keep him out. He's one of Tim Holtz's favorites. A man with a cat. Ooh, ooh. I kind of love him too. Okay, so we're gonna take these guys. I love the man with the cat. I'm gonna put the rest of these over in my paper dolls section. I'll be right back. And no, it doesn't mean you have a problem when you have a section for paper dolls in your craft room. These are old pictures that I got in a different set. Oh, I love them. Oh, that looks like they're, what is ours? A cabinet of curiosities. We need more people searching for things. Ooh, that looks, oh, I think those guys are searching for things. I want it to kind of be like, oh, there we go. Like they were out adventuring. I used that in one of my Tim Holtz. That's more like, ooh, these guys look like adventure-y. Children, minors, bicyclists, gals. Unfortunately, I feel like, oh, I love that. Ooh, do I want that kind of, I think I'm going to use that on my cigar box. Let's pull that aside. Pour that, we're going to put that in there. Okay, okay. Oh, a train. Paris. Arc de Triomphe. Is that in Paris? That looks like a, ooh, he could be adventuring. Okay. So we're going to take those guys out. Then I have these big guys. I think I want one big guy, and this guy's calling to me right off the bat. So there's a whole bunch of big guys, but he looks like a snotty, scientist-y kind of guy from the old days. And then I have these baby ones. So let's grab a few baby ones. Okay. All right, all right. You get so many in the pack. It's wonderful. Okay, there's a tiny child. I don't want to have to deal with people sitting down. There's, oh, I like that guy leaning. Okay, so we got a little guy leaning. Sitting down people, sitting down people. They don't look like adventurers. There's a little guy. Oh, look, he has a travel valise. We need him. Okay. Unfortunately, we're not going to find too many adventurous women, but we're going to find one if it kills us. There's got to be one gal in here who went on an adventure. It's not Tim Holtz's fault. It's the fault of the fact that women weren't given the chance to adventure that much. You figure Amelia Earhart is well known because she was a unique woman who did things that other women of her time did not do. Look at that. Oh, he's a soldier. I thought he was an adventurer. Oh, I might have to go with this lady who's sitting down. I can find something for her to sit on. She looks a little adventurous. Adventurous. Okay, here we go. Oh, I like her. Oh my goodness, there she is. That's my adventurous lady. Okay, here we go. That is this. And I know you're judging the fact that I have a paper dolls drawer, but little tiny baby girl. That's just me. Paper dolls are fun. So now we have some of this stuff that we can use. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so these are kind of fun. I love that we can put, if we wanted to, we could put little masks. That's why I get this every year. But we have hats. We have little creepy people. We have locks and keys. So this is fun. We're just going to stick this in the back of my little box. Okay, these are more usable to me because they are thinner. This is ephemera. Let's do layers. Layers is the next thickest. And these are just a little bit thick. Okay, so let us pull these out. And we're going to use a fair piece of these too. Okay, yes to the flower. Circles. I always love a circle. Oh, do we have 2 flowers? Oh, we have 2 flowers. Okay, we're going to have to... Oh, the owl. Look at him. Yes, for sure, owl. Yes, little business card. Yes, druggist. Yes, poison. Yes, that. I don't need that. Yes, that. Look at that. We're going to put that with our, for sure, we're going to use on our cigar box. I don't want to use up all my good stuff. It's not like I don't have stuff. All right, that we're going to use for sure. That's like a postcard. Ooh, that volunteered. Okay, all right. This is super excellent. So we're going to use all of these. Did we have a few of these? No. So we're going to save some of these. And I have other stuff over there from other years. But that's going to give us a little bit to work with. I'm just putting this in here. I'm just putting that in my digger pile. Because this is my box that I'm going to use this year. Okay. All right. Ooh, these are fun. So this is going to be a ton of little, like, ephemera-y bits. So we I like to figure out what I'm doing, like kind of what my theme is, where I'm going. Oh, look, a whole bunch of bats. What is happening? Ooh, ravens, nevermore. Okay, so there's an owl. So we have an owl. We'll definitely have to use an owl. Okay. What's this? That's a great card. Oh, we have this over here. So I'm not going to use that right now. These are super cute. I don't know if you know about these, but these are book covers that you can use. So you fold them like this. Boop. And fold them like this. Right? So then you have a little book cover. And then you just take paper and fold it up. You distress it, of course. And then you have a little book. But that's not for this project. I'm thinking I want some red. Oh, look, we already have red there. I want some red in this. Okay, I love this. I love these. Oh, look, there's more red. Let's kind of grab the red stuff. Some bats. Creepy ephemera. I might have to get another set of this. Okay. We'll do a little circle. That's pretty. I like that. That's going in my, maybe in my cigar box. Do we, oh, we could give somebody creepy wings. Fair number of those book things. That's nice. Not quite long enough. I think you might get 2 of everything. Little ones of the flowers. Ooh, I kind of love that. Okay, a moon. I have a moon mask. Okay. Oh, tags. I love a tag, but we have a tag. Okay, let's do a little couple of words. Ooh, there's some more butterfly wings. I like a wing. I do magazine collage, and I paint, and lots of oh, there's another bat, or another bat, owl. Another owl. Okay. Those are bigger ones. Let's do wicked. Boop, boop. All right. And we have a raven. Nevermore. So let's put this in our little pile of goodies. Oh, look at this nice dash. I like a nice dash. Uh-oh, I did a whole bunch of cutouts. I think you're going to be pleased with my cutting out. This goes over here because we're not using it right now. This guy here. Whoop, whoop. Oh, so I made a video about this, so you'll get to see it if you want. But I made a whole bunch of, a whole bunch of Halloween ephemera, or at least the backgrounds for Halloween ephemera, using the Chapter 3 Tim Holtz dies, Sizzix dies. So I have little envelopes. I have like slide trays, and that's what I need for this guy. And then I have so many cool little cutouts and G-Jaws and stuff that we're going to use for this project. So let's start to figure out, okay, where's our guy? Because for sure I know I want this guy, and I think these little specimen labels are going to be super fun with our Cabinet of Curiosities idea, right? Do we want it to be a little bit neutral? I kind of do. Like he's, yeah, I love that. Okay, so we're going to cut right along there. Let's keep these guys out because we're going to use a bunch of those. And these are just little randomly cut pieces that I made that are going to help us to sell stuff. Okay, so he's going to go there. So the first we have a couple things we want to do first. We want to grunge this up a little bit. And I use archival ink. I know a lot of you gals use regular distress ink. It's just I like to have it be permanent. So that is definitely your choice. So we're going to do two things. We have blue and let's get green. I have a little bathtub over here with all color-coded little brushes. I love my bathtub. And we're going to use peeled paint first to give this thing right here. I did all that cutting out. Now I have a whole bunch of letters and numbers hanging around. Okay, let's put him in again. See, that already looks better, doesn't it? Oh, I think we can just go with the peeled paint. That turned out great. Okay. Perfection, perfection. Oh, no, we're going to hit it all with a little bit of the vintage photo in a hot minute. Okay, where's my glue? So I like to use Nuvo glue. I know a lot of people like collage medium who are Tim people. But I really like Nuvo glue. I'm a paper crafter, so I make magazine collage. Oh, he goes this way. And it works great for that. Okay. So we're going to put him in there. Okay. Uh-oh. We don't want this part glued yet. There we go. Let's put this down. There's a little area in here where we can put like a number or something like that. So we're going to come back. We're going to revisit this one, because we don't want to do the number until we know kind of what we're doing, right? Right. All right, so let's start thinking this out and where people are going to go and what they're going to be doing. All right. Do we kind of want this to be where the Cabinet of Curiosities is? Okay, where's our heavy piece? That's our base of this. Don't tell me I lost it already. This is a definite maybe. Over here, I'm a righty, so I have to put everything on the right so I can find it. All right, so some green stuff. Let's get some things in here that we may want to add. And I have some other papers too that we're gonna put in. I kind of like that orange blobby, so and I apologize if you can't see down here. I'm just putting some old music sheets down here. Real old music sheets. I'll try to move it up. There you go. Just to add some interest. And I have just tons and tons and tons of old paper all over the place. I don't know if you do. Okay, this one, let's do some. Do we want to do a little bit of graph paper? I think so. Like that. So this, so I get some of my old music books I've gotten at antique stores to get the really, really old music books that look like this. I can get a lot of piano books at music stores. But a lot of these things I get at I definitely don't want that bold black and blue that I would have to fight later, but I kind of love this. Okay. I'm just trying to get some additional layers and interest going on here. Plus, when you have, so one of the things is that this is a very wide page, right? When you really think about it, this is, 9 inches wide. If you don't kind of break it up with something, it can get really overwhelming. But now, say we wanted to do a card, we have a little place that it can start to sit, and then we could do a creepy guy. I think the creepy guy with the cat is the first. Is he a druggist? I think he might be a druggist. We're going to put him up there since he volunteered. And we're going to put in this little piece, since we got it already ripped off, right here. And some people like to distress every single layer. So they would distress this paper, they would distress this paper. I have found that I wind up covering up a lot of that. And it's not the feature of my work, so I don't really bother. Oh, a bat. We don't want to lose a tiny little bat. I don't really fuss with that too much. But I know other people do. So you fuss or don't fuss. You do you. I'm going to put that right along that edge. I'm going to go through. I'm going to put a bunch of old papers in, and then we'll get to the Tim Holtz parts. I don't want to false advertise you. All right, I'm getting near to done. And you might be wondering how I know when I've put enough stuff onto my places. And I have a very easy way of doing that. I have these things that I need to use, right? I want to make sure I get a nice piece of this on here, because I love this paper. I'm going to die when this, it's a book. It's a little book that fell apart with rusted binding. It's pretty thick. It must have been, I don't think it was a hymnal, but it was definitely like a songbook. And as you, the world, go through, someday you may come to the portal of home and there's no room for you. Ooh, that's pretty gruesome and perfect for my creepy book. Okay, so this is how I know when I'm done with putting this stuff on. If I find something and I'm not willing to throw it away, then I have to put it on the book, because I'm not going to keep a billion little scraps on my desk. I'm very adamant that lose it or lose it. Lose it or lose it. Use it or lose it. Okay, so we got some stuff here. We got some stuff here. We got some stuff here. This might turn into a tab or something. I love how this turned out. Do we want another wee bit of creepy? A little bit. All this I can throw away. I have tons of maps and stuff. I have tons of graph paper. Let's see. Let's find out where the edge of this actually is. Oh, we're going to do that too today. And then I'm going to be done for the day because I have some actual work. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So it is probably a hymnal. That's fine. That was a very scary thought that there would be no home for you. My gods, including Jesus and God and all that, are more benign, I think, than some people's gods. I feel like they help me. Okay, so we have that. Now, the last thing we're going to do today is I have a bunch of fabric tape that I want to use, especially on the ends of the, ooh, that's fun. I love that. Especially on the ends of the covers. Don't know if I'm going to do it on all of them. Let's see how we like the ends of the covers. And this is Tim Holtz fabric tape. And I like this kind because he didn't do it all in one design. It's kind of pieced together. So that's there. Let's do and the reason I have to do this is because since we added pieces and pieces and pieces, that we have some weird layers. And I want to make sure that my covers don't fall apart. Ask me how I know if you have weird layers, someday your covers may fall apart. Yep. I have made lots of books, and some of my covers fell apart. Okay, this is just, look at that. Extra grunge, yay us. Okay, so I don't need other fabric tape right this second. I think we are going to pause. I have to go do some real work. Oh, let's look at our guy. Yes, I know I have to do real work, but we're going to look at our guy first. So say this is his... Yeah, say he's here, and this is the backdrop. We'll force that perspective. And then we had the cabinet of collector of curiosities. So we can have this be kind of on the bottom here, holding that all up, right? Oh, I kind of love that. This is what it's going to be. Yep. Yup. And then we're going to have super fun things for people to look at inside. And by people, I mean my granddaughter Emery, because she loves kitties. So if I show her there's a kitty, then she'll look inside. Oh, that's going to be neat. Okay, a gal left a comment on my first video that was hilarious. She's like, oh my God, I hope it looks better later or something. But I think that's wonderful because we always think that our stuff looks like crap in the middle, and it usually does, right? Like it's not meant to look pretty partway through. It's meant to look pretty at the end. She gave me such a giggle. I was like, she's got a point. Got a point. So let's get to work on this front. And when I was looking at this, I was just looking at it because I look at my stuff. I thought, how cool would it be if this was like inside the house? So I have these picture frames. So let's see if any of these are going to be big enough to kind of frame out what I'm trying to do. See, I think that cuts it off too much. I kind of want it longer rather than shorter. What about this? No, I don't love that either. Oh, that's a bummer. But I have these other frames because I buy all the things, people. Tim Holtz knows my number. Okay, so we have big ones. Ooh, look at this one. This might be it. That's it. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness I buy all the things. Just smacked myself in the head with my plastic envelope. So that is going to be this, just like that. Let's put some mica in this frame so it looks cute and scary. I don't think I have any pieces that are going to be big enough to do all of it. So let's do half and half with a crack down the center. And I don't need a real thick piece for this because this isn't as delicate as the other one where oh, that one's really skinny. You can kind of flip it over if you get too skinny a piece. There we go. But the other one has to kind of hold up to turning, where this one is just to get a bit of shine on this background image. And I don't think I really want to mess with, let me check and see how I like it. Okay. I kind of want it to look like the glass is broken, like that. Because his whole house is going to be a little not quite right. Okay, I love that, but we need to do something to this frame because that's too pretty. Oh, I guess while we're here, we'll do this. So the first thing I want to do is get some texture paste, grip paste. Here is some texture paste matte. Here's some grip paste. So grip paste is just like dirty, nasty, gritty. Adds a little dimension and grossness to things, but it also gives you, oops, I'm going to put him over there so I don't want too much there, but it gives you a little texture that normal stuff doesn't have. And then we are going to put some embossing powder on here. So we're going to put two colors. We're going to put like a black soot and vintage photo, I believe. Vintage photo. I have no idea. Hickory smoke, hickory smoke. Okay. So we're just I'm gonna make a little mess with this because I just want a little bit of color and I'm not gonna try to dump it off. I'm just gonna add it in here into the texture paste. See how it's kind of building up on there? And we can't do it until we can't heat set it until the texture paste is dry. We could also have done, which we might do other places, some crackling glaze. But this is for, now this one I will cover. Because this is just going to be translucent. I will probably go over this with some paint or some more embossing powder. But because this is translucent, not transparent, translucent, you can see through it. As you add layers and layers and layers of stuff, it will build up. So we need that anyway. We need our embossing anyways, because we're going to start. So we have to put this aside and let this dry. And because I live in Florida, it will take 400 years or like this afternoon for it to dry. Just how it is. It's so cute. People will be like, oh, the embossing powder or the embossing stuff dries in like 50 seconds. And I'm like, yeah, 4 days. 4 days, people. Okay, so I need this to be a lot less pretty. I have an old-fashioned sanding block. So we're gonna start with that and rough the edges up, kind of, right? Because we don't want this to be so very nice. Okay. Let's put this up for a minute, and we're gonna get our people out and start embossing them. So here's my guy for the front. So he needs to be super fancy because he's the front. I want him to be in green. So we're gonna do, I think this is peeled paint. So green, the cat I'm gonna do in yellow. Or not quite yellow, but this antique linen. And then he has a little flower we can do in red. Let's do that for now, and then we may come back. Here we go. So we are going to paint with an embossing pen. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint his pants we're definitely gonna do these in peeled paint, and then we may do the top of his sweater in Twisted Citron, because I believe I have Twisted Citron, but I don't know yet. And you don't have to freak out. That embossing powder will stay active for a minute. Okay. Doop. Oh, cute. Okay, so let's heat this. There we go. And you may not be able to tell, but it makes it glossy. Ooh, I might go with, nah, I think I'm gonna do the green on the top too. Hold on. So the window's gonna be brownish dirty. Yeah, I think green on the top will be fine. What is this thing? I don't know. Oh, that's the cat leg. Okay, so we gotta be careful of the cat leg. Uh-oh. I don't want, it might stay on there, but I don't really want it over the red flower area, but we can go over it again. It's no bother. And then we don't want to get over that cat because we're going to make him a kind of a light brownish color. But the cool thing with the embossing glaze is you can still see all the wrinkles and the bits in his suit and everywhere, even though you've added a hint of color, which is what I love. And it makes it shiny. I like shiny things. Some people don't. Okay, we're going to do this. Boop, where'd it go? Right where I put it. Did I not do his sleeve? I didn't do his sleeve over here. Well, there we go. Oh, let's get it off the cat. If there's an embossing powder on something, it's gonna emboss, and his cat will not be brown. Cute. Now let's do the kitty. Oh, I guess we could do more green. Hold on. I think his undervest is going to be green. I'm just doing this while I have the green out, just because I'm lazy. You could color each one at a time. Okay, we'll do that. What else do we want green? I think that's a lot of green for him. Little tiny people. Ooh, do we want to do, I think I do. So these people, I have a lot of people. They're starting to freak me out. So we're just gonna put them all up here. I'm gonna do them all together once you're gone. But I wanted to show you something else that we can do with this green and our embossing. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do some of these leaves, especially the ones that seem darker, and the stems. All right. And on this one, I'm going to do these stems here, around here, stems and buds, maybe in this little light place. Maybe in this little light place, in this little light place. I know Tim says don't be a flicker, but I'm a flicker. Oh, where's my squeezers? This will be so much easier if I'm not trying to hold these. Okay. So now, yeah, we're going to put this green away for a minute. I'll probably get it back out I like the green. But I want to show you how you can make your ephemera from Tim Holtz look really cool. All right, we are going to use that vintage photo, which is my favorite color of kind of brown. And I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. Where the embossing pen goes, it becomes shinier. So you know where it is. All right, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. And I just go sideways, 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 and then up and down to try to cover the whole thing. And I buy lots of these embossing pens because they go bad because I push too hard on them. That's gonna be cute. Okay, so I wanna get that embossing powder off of his shirt, because if you see embossing powder, even if it isn't stuck to something, it will melt there and emboss there. Here's our guy. If there's just a little bit on top of the green, it doesn't matter. It'll just help add dimension to that green. Okay, so cute. Oh, he looks so distinguished. I think I'm gonna give him brown hair too. Brown hair. Uh-oh. Almost sang on the internet again. My granddaughter, Amy, watches this video all the time called Brown Bear, Brown Bear. Very cute. But I should never sing on the internet. So that looks terrible, right? Like you're thinking, oh my God, you've ruined it. It looks horrible. But he'll look fine because it's translucent. It'll just fade in and it'll look like it should be there. And I don't tend to try to do their faces. I know some of the gals do. We could probably make him yellow. I don't think that, what do I have? Tattered, see, he would look very pink or yellow. I don't think we have a good distress color. Who had the rose? This guy had the rose. He has a little rose on his lapel. Now, because I got green under it, I feel like there's a really good chance that you'll see both colors between it, that it's going to look like brown, right? But we can try. I knew I had the red out for something. We got a little hint of it. Not much, but a little bit. All right, let's do, I have a lot more brown to do, but let's put this away. This $7 tray from Amazon is my all-time favorite embossing tray. And I have to tell you, I use it all of the time. If you're going to emboss a lot like I do, probably best to invest in an embossing tray so you don't make yourself crazy. So we're going to do the cat, and then I'm going to let you go because I got some stuff to do. I'm going to be working on this. I'm going to be working on a background. I don't want to color his hand. I just want to color the cat. So we kind of delineate between him and the cat. Oops, we got a big old glob in there. And I emboss a lot. And I don't think, I ran out of Kitsch Flamingo because I dumped the container one day. But I've never organically run out of embossing powder. It lasts a long time. Here we go. Okay. Look at that. A cat. And this guy doesn't have any hair to color, so we're out of luck for that one. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to do this and this. That just added a wee bit of color to him, right? I love it. Our other stuff. We could try it. It's probably going to bubble. Doesn't bother me. Might bother you a lot. Yeah, the lawn guys are here. So this bubbled, which is fine. I'm totally fine. I want a bunch of grit on here. This is, you know, he has let his house go. He's living all alone with his cat. He gets stressed every day. He's got his stuff in his house, right? Like he's a little old-fashioned hoarder. So I'm going to go through and do a bunch of stuff to this frame. But for right now, this section is done. The cover's kind of done. Where did that thing go? Okay, so I like how this looks. And I just want it to be a little bit more moody for the first layer. So I'm going to put that lightest color on, right? And it's just gonna tint this white writing to like a antique linen color. And I don't know if you can do this with dye, if it would be translucent like this. Because I use archival, which is permanent. Okay, here we go. Boop, 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 boop. And I can keep as much of this on here as I want because it will blow off if it's not stuck. Because I can't, if you want to not have your stuff blow off, you can just turn it upside down and blow through it. But this is so dark, this is so thick, that's not going to work. All right, I love that. This is already looking a little grungier, a little less perfect. It's got some color in it. So we're gonna put that over here. And I'm gonna let you go. And, oh, do you wanna see the rest of this? Okay, let's see what color roses we have. We have pink, and we have that red we seen. And then we have fired brick. And we have crackling campfire. Didn't know I was going to need my glasses. And then we have this green, which is twisted citron. And you may be thinking, oh, holy heck, that's going to be bright. But it's not going to be as bright as you. Okay, let's put this away for a minute. I'm sorry about the light. There's not very much light here today at all. For me or thee. Okay, so we are going to do the roses in a couple different colors of pinks. So we're going to do the buds and like the inside here and the inside here and the inside here. And I think this is Kitsch Flamingo. I think it is Kitsch Flamingo because it's super full because I put half of my other one in there. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. All right, let's do this other flower. I'm going to do the darker pink part. Darker pink. Doo-doo. Darker pink. The bud. Okay. So let's heat that up. And then I'm going to show you the crazy green doesn't look crazy green. Oh, we got to heat this one up. Which it just barely fits now. Look at that. That's not how it comes. And I have this. Oh, are they both Kitsch Flamingo? I think they're both Kitsch Flamingo. Yep. So we don't have that color pink. What else do we have? We have dark red. So I am going to do the lighter parts of this in the tattered rose because I don't want to lose the whole look of the rose. And I wear, that's our adoption ring from when we got the kids. If you just tap that with your rings, you'll knock it down. Okay, here we go. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here. It's getting darker and darker, I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna come in here and anywhere there isn't, oh, and yeah, the lawn guys are here, forgot them. That's special too. And you seen, I wasn't precious about it. I wasn't like, this has to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. Nothing will be perfect. So the sooner you can get that out of your mind, the better. Now this, in case you're wondering, normally it would go faster than this because I would go through and I would do all the red at one time and all the this at one time, but it was too much pressure trying to figure out my other stuff with you here. So we are gonna finish these two little pieces. We got our guy done. If you get other stuff mixed in there, just do this. And then there's not enough in there to bother anything. Okay. Okay, so now that gave it a little dimension, right? Like it gave a little background to it, but we have to let this cool for a second. But in a couple places, I like how it looks up in here. I don't love how it blended in here. So no bother. We're going to come in here. It's just going to make it look darker there, right? Okay, we got that. We're going to blend this whole leaf. We're going to blend this whole section in with some more pink, right? Because we already used the pink. So now we're just adding layers to the pink And because this is a translucent embossing powder, we're going to get just layers of color instead of, oh, we're covering up pink with red, we're covering up red with brown, we're covering up. They're all going to meld together to give dimension to these flowers in a really pretty way. In a really pretty way that I like. Okay, so there you go. That to me looks super pretty. I like how it came out. They look very vintage and old, but now we have one last thing, and this is gonna freak you out. I'm gonna put that fancy green on the leaves. And don't forget, if you hate the fancy green once you do it, just go over it with something else. It's just paper. These are just paper. And now I know I'm showing my privilege, but if I had to have this, and my whole project would be ruined if I didn't have it, I could probably beg, borrow, or steal one of these. Or I could find something different to use in my project, right? This is supposed to be fun. I'm going to cover up this weird part. Now you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be fluorescent. It's not. If it wasn't translucent, it would be fluorescent. It would be this green color, right? That's how regular embossing powder works. But I'm going to show you. Uh-oh, it's on my rose. So if I see it on my rose, it's going to emboss on my rose. So I don't want it on my rose. There we go. It might have brightened that one little spot up just a titch because it was white beneath it. So how do you fix that? You don't freak out, right? Nobody freaks out because we don't freak out here at Shea Jacobson. Just got green on my little flower. So if I have that, how do I fix it? I get my peeled paint. I get this. I just do this over the lid. I'm not gonna, for one little spot like that. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Right back in. Look at that. My phone rang, so I had to pull it down, but I thought you would like to see a real cute close-up of it. I thought it turned out great. I'm going to do a whole bunch of work, and I will be back. Okay, since this is a pretty important part of the project, I thought I would show you what I'm going to do. I am going to take vintage photo paint. I'd like one darker one. Hold on, where's my darker paint? Ugh, I just touched wet paint. I was looking for ground espresso or one of them. I may have run out. I am going to use aged mahogany, which will be fine. We will get this a little darker. We will put a little black in it. Oh, there's it. Ground espresso. There we go. Yay, do we want a titch? I think the cover we could use a titch. So I'm going to put out like a drop. This stuff goes so far. I am such a distress paint advocate, and 3 drops of paint are going to be plenty for this frame. So what we want to do is get a water spray bottle. Boop. Put a thing of water there. And I'm going to start with the aged mahogany because this is going to be my lowest level one. And I'm just going to put it here and there, but I want it to stay somewhat translucent, which is why I'm using the water. Actually, I'm going to have way too much. We're going to go into the book with some of the paint. And I'm just trying to get a richness to this frame that makes it look like it has been, you know, in this collector's house for a million years. Let's go ahead and get our edges. And I'm not trying to, maybe we'll be able to use it up all on the frame. I don't waste paint. If I don't use paint somewhere, we use it somewhere else. And this paint dries relatively fast. I mean, the thicker the coat, the longer to dry. So we're going to give it just a sec. Have a sip of my coffee. All right, another squirt of water. We're going to get the vintage photo going in here. And this is kind of going everywhere that the mahogany didn't make, right? I may need a little bit more vintage photo because it is my favorite. It is my favorite. It's just such a... So caramel in Pitt pens is my favorite color. Or I guess it's Euchre? I don't know. But my favorite color is a caramely color, brown. And vintage photo is really slick, caramely color brown. And we're going around the inside and around the outside. And just like everything else, partway through this just looks like a hot mess, huh? Just looks like, that looks terrible. We're getting some of this into our grunge, so it just looks like, let's try to get in the inside of the frame. Let's try to get in the outside of the frame. Okay, there we go. Now that looks pretty yucky. Now I do have enough, trying not to touch. I put, you'll see this probably later in this video, crackle paint on there. So let's take this page and use some of this leftover vintage photo. And this will go a long way with the water, because we're not trying to paint with it, right? We're just trying to spread some of that color. And this is going to be, if you have ever watched Tim Holtz do, where he uses his little brushes and he goes around and pushes them out and pulls them out. I don't know what they're called. But goes around and does like a little, just some color, not trying to do anything in particular. That's what this is. This is not to accomplish anything, but just to get some color around here on the edge that's a little grungy, right? That's long story short. I'm trying to get a little grunge around this page. I don't want this to be clean and bright and pretty, and I need it to look like this guy has had this book sitting in a bookcase in his house for 20 years, unopened, and we just happened to find it. Is the thought of my dreams. So we're just do this just while the other stuff is drying. There we go. Now see, that already looks grungier. Yay us. Uh-oh, I gotta open it up to the crackle paint, or the crackle paint will stick to the crackle paint. So now we're back to ground espresso. And this effectively is gonna be mostly the color of the frame, right? Like I'm gonna go all around, hi kitty. I'm gonna go all around the outside with it, kind of blend it a little bit. There we go. That looks great. And then I'm going to go all around the inside of it. Because if you think about it, what we're doing is we're kind of making it, you know how when light hits something, there's like a highlight color. So functionally, what I did was made a built-in highlight color for my frame, and I'm just touching it wherever it seems a little too the aged mahogany is a little too red or a little too light. And we might come in with archival ink at the very end if we see that we want it a little darker on the frame. But for now, this is the frame as it's pretty much going to be on the piece. Oh, maybe we should. We're going to, I have, hold on, phone. I have ultra thick embossing powder that's clear transparent. We are going to emboss this to make this look like a shiny frame. But we have to make sure it's totally dry by then. Okay, it's maybe my favorite time of doing a journal. So, I have been looking at these people and things I'm using. And so where did my frame go? I had my frame 2 seconds ago. Okay, here we go. So this is gonna be the frame for this creepy place, okay? And we're not gonna worry about grunging that up too much. This is all that, but let's go ahead and emboss this with that extra heavy embossing powder. And I think because it's flat, we can do this. So we're gonna try this first. And I think this is gonna take a few go-arounds to get this all done the way I want it done. And I have India ink, so I can go over the embossing with India ink. If you're using just Tim Holtz Distress ink, then you might want to do the final like shading stuff before you emboss. Because once you emboss, there's no going back. Extra thick embossing powder. Ooh. So there's a little bit right here. We can see that it's not covered, right? So I'm going to stick my squeezers right there for now. And I'm not even tamping. I'm gently touching, because I can't go, normally if I was going to do extra thick embossing, I would go up from the bottom and let it heat a little bit, but I can't do that with this because it's this is really thick chipboard, so we're going to have to go slow. And I don't know if I've told you in this video, but embossing powder is just little pieces of plastic that we melt. Kind of love that. Okay, we're going to do a teeny bit more in that spot where it's not embossed. Boink, boink. And I'm just going to do it this way. Boop. Just get it on there nice and thick. And then we're going to start putting the journal together. Okay, all done. Let's put this away. Ultra thick embossing powder can be a little unmanageable because it's a lot heavier grains of plastic than regular embossing powder or embossing glaze. I think we're there. Woo! Looks like we made it. We're going to start gluing some of this front down. And this goes first, but let's get our thing all lined up. I think I wanted a teeny bit offset that way so we can have him standing here. Do we want him in the back? Nope, I want him on top of this. So maybe we do center it. Okay, so we're gonna take this and some Nouveau glue. I love Nouveau glue. And I am going to stick this down. And this doesn't need to have anything done to it because it's already looking old and it's gonna be behind broken glass, and we're gonna do stuff on top of it, right? Like, I only have so much time and energy to craft, so I have to do what I can do. Okay, so now we're going to get as much of this covered as we can. Ooh, we can get the whole thing covered. Okay, so this, let's do this side first. So we're going to do this. And this mica is very, very lightweight. You don't need a ton of glue to make it stick. And then we'll come over here. And we'll put this on here. Boop, boop, boop. And then I do want to cut this a little bit off because I don't want it sticking out of the frame, right? This is supposed to be a glass window. So now, I don't care if that little bit is there. Now let's go over all of this. And this is an ideology, if you didn't see the first one, this is an ideology frame from Tim Holtz. A little crooked. Okay, so we're going to put this down. And then we have Collector of Curiosities to go like right at the bottom of it. You know how like frames? Yeah, I want it on the frame. And then I want this guy. Yeah, I want this guy in the back. And we're like saying this is his house Him with his creepy cat. And we may have to glue this a few times because this isn't going to be touching lots, right? But it's just paper, so it should stick. And I have a whole story going on in my head about the people in this house. Okay, we may have to take a minute and let him stick down. I'll be right back. Okay, most of his body is stuck down now, except for his head. I gotta find something heavier to try to stick his head down. Now, let's try to get this to stick. I'm almost wondering if I don't want to put this under here just to know that it'll stick to the front. I think I'm going to. I think I don't want 11 billion things I have to manage on the front of my journal. Yeah. Ooh, plus, we could scooch that down and help glue his feet to that. Okay, I think he's down. Okay, so now the rest of this stuff will be easy to glue because we're not gluing it on embossing, right? So this is the thing that I'm thinking of, and we're just going to lay it out. So I have, these are going to go kind of in the back. This could come up front. I made a couple of these, so we know we're at that creepy house. And there are people here. So we have a bunch of people. And the first people we meet are these really nice couple. Like Gladys and George. Okay. And George, ooh, here's a picture of George as a young man when he was an aviator. So George, all these people have led a super interesting life. So these guys are all going to go on this page. And we meet this nice couple. And then next we meet this super nice young man who came to the house because he heard his grandfather lived here. And he's just coming in to try to say hi. Ooh, is this lady go with this? I think this lady goes with this guy. Hold on. Two of them can hold hands. Oh, there we go. They hold hands. So, but this is all about the dudes, right? So this guy lived a really interesting life. On this page, we have this really nice young man coming in because he heard his grandfather lived here. On this page, we have this guy who's part of this group, right? And these are just all really interesting people that have lived, you know, that are collected by this one man. All right, here's this lady, and here's her portrait. Oh, here's another. Okay. This fellow's grandparents were from here. I love putting little people along these. And she can go along here. Oh my goodness, you can't see that, but she'll look cute over there. And then, here's the problem. All these amazing people have been collecting twin children in this creepy house to experiment on. Right? So this is not good. We're not good here. And then on the back page, we have this guy. Oh, this is going to be all these kind of, he was the druggist. And these are like funeral flowers, and we're going to put all those together. So we're going to put these together here with a clip. And I can't hang out with you while I put all this together. This will take, like, I look and I think and I put, oh, that's going to be too tight. I look and I think and I do things that that are boring to watch, right? So I'll show you at the end. Oh, I like that. So you got the idea? This guy was a druggist. He was a terrible person. He helped facilitate capturing all these twins. Here's all of our twins that are trapped at this house. But the reader, didn't find this out till later. And this is their nanny. And maybe the nanny and her suitor are starting to not be okay with it. But it's creepy, and we can see it through the open thing, all these twins. And then we find out all of these people knew about it, right? Knew about the whole thing. And they're horrible people, except for him. He just came to the door, which is not going to turn out well for him. And this is these guys with him as a young man, and then him flying planes. So we've used up, oh, we got more stuff. Hold on. What else do we got here? So we could put those together, and we could show him that he worked at some kind of weird place, and then he had this life. This young man came in, and he is crazy looking, but he goes, does he go with these guys and this guy? Yeah, I think he goes with this guy and this guy. I don't know if he's cares enough about family to have kind of a family portrait. Oh, her. She has this big picture. And we're going to put the owl back here to start getting the creepiness into his. So we start to know that we're going to put creepy stuff all through. So that is going to be the layout of this book. I'm going to start putting it together. And the final video will be where I show you kind of how I put it together and then how I embellish it with all the metal. And that'll be next week. So hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobson, Artsy Fartsy Life.